So what the world doesn't know is we are late, not because Jarret and I were late, because technology was late again. And I say this every day, what is technology going to do to us in this world? Jarret and I have been playing around. Facebook was not cooperating, but here we are, and I hope everybody else is here because I am with one of the most special people I have ever met. And I say that because and I know he knows when we met, but Jarret and I met one day because I was with my client, Ren Hack from Hazone. And we were down when we all could be at the Eastern Market, 4,000 or 5,000 of us. And we were doing the Jewish Food Festival. And we were there really early, Fox 2, we were running around. And Ren said to me, how do you not know Pingree Detroit? You need to go over there. You need to meet these guys. And, you know, being the shy one that I am, I marched over, introduced myself, fell in love with you, fell in love with Nate. So give him my love as well. I adore him. And most importantly, fell in love with the story immediately of Pingree Detroit. For those out there who don't know about Pingree Detroit, I'm going to let you tell them in your own words because I'd love to think that I do justice when you're not around. But everybody out there will fall in love with you as well, and the people who work with you day in, day out. So I'm so happy we're live. We were going to tape this. We were going to get out today no matter what. But welcome, Jarret Schlaff, who is the founder, CEO, the visionary of Pingree Detroit, the one never to sleep. So, welcome to my FaceTime live. I've been begging you to come on, and you're one to be shy and also methodical in your messaging, which I always appreciate. You want to talk and talk about something when there's something to talk about. So I do always appreciate that about you. So
Thank you.
Tell everyone about what and who Pingree Detroit is.
Of course. Well, thank you again so much, Sari, for the amazing introduction. I'm humbled. Good to be with you, all the work you do to lift up so many amazing organizations and businesses. We are among the privileged few that are lucky enough to work with you. So thank you for the opportunity both to build alongside you and then also to be on your show today. So Pingree Detroit, we turned 6 years old coming up here in January, which is a really exciting moment for us. And our company, we are a worker-owned design and manufacturing cooperative, born and raised right here in Detroit, with a focus on footwear, accessories, home goods, all primarily using leather that's upcycled from the auto industry. So we get car seat leather and steering wheel leather that was otherwise destined for the landfill from the big three. And then our small team, there's 9 of us right now, comprised of US veterans and Detroiters. And we hand make these things in our shop off of Livernois in the Lodge, not too far from the Avenue of Fashion. So we aim to just not only create products, but it might sound cliche, but we're here to create solutions, right? So with everything we do.
Well, it's true. Yeah. It's very true. Your things would go in the landfill, but before something hits the landfill, you're thinking like, you know, you thought ahead, you know, and I often say I want to back up, slow down, because I want people to really, we're going a mile minute, but I want people to hear what you just said. You're worker owned, you're Detroit based. I feel like check the boxes, man. Veteran. I mean, you know, the people I've met there, like Nate, who have served and you have served. I mean, God bless everybody in your organization. You're taking product that's wasted. I mean, they don't need. They're done making the car seat, the leather from the steering wheel, and you are making gorgeous, I mean, stunning purses, wallet, card holders, journals, shoes. You're selling yourself short right now, my friend. And
Thank you.
by the way, the price points, I mean, I'll say they're affordable, but they're on some of the things are on the higher end because they're handmade, hand stitched. I mean, one of the things I loved when I first walked in there was the old, the sewing machines. It brought me back to when my father's company, when they would hand sew the bags of my dad's at my dad's shop. I mean, you have people sewing. I mean, sewing people. They're not zipping through some, I don't know, factory. I mean, when you're walking around with a Pingree piece, it was handmade by one of the 9. And I want people to really have that resonate with them, that you could go into your factory and say, this was made. My shoes were made by Nate,
Definitely.
Or one of many 8.
We appreciate that. Yeah, no, and that's definitely, we see value in something that's really well made. So, there's both sewing on our machines, but there's also literally hand stitching different accent parts and different, closing stitches. There's a lot of intentionality around making something that's going to be generational and heirloom. And so when something takes 2 days to hand make, then the price reflects that, right? And so we have a lot of intention around kind of urban utility as a kind of design concept. So it's going to be both sexy, but really functional, right? So like our Bobian, we spent 6 months doing product research, sitting down with different women and saying, what do you want in a purse? That there's a reason why there's an outside slip pocket and an outside zipper pocket and an inside zipper pocket with 2 interior slip pockets. Like, we put a lot of focus around really user function, user experience, and then making it really durable and really well. And then also, it's not just about the products, it's about the people who make it, investing in the well-being of our team. After 1 year of working with us, you're eligible to become a worker owner, which means you share in 77% of the profits of the company, right? So we really, really want to invest in both training opportunities, kind of neighborhood generational wealth opportunities to create stronger neighborhoods right where we're working.
And I think that's also so important. Our vets go off, they give, and they come home and the world has gone on and really it's gone on without them. And they come home, and you and I've talked about this. There's so many things that happen on a day-to-day that, from a mental health perspective and a business perspective of integrating someone back into the workforce, that people forget about. And here within your factory, within your company, that's all you think about. How do we uplift? How do we raise up our people? And one of the ways to do it is to empower them to be an owner, to get up out of bed, to take pride in your work. And at the end of the day, when you do that for X amount of time, and that ownership, and doing that and taking pride in your work, you get to celebrate because you become an owner. And I think that it's really one of the most special parts. There's so many things that caught my attention to being able to represent you. And I'll say, this is one of the Jarret does so much on his own and networks so much on his own. I try and just do what I can to help you and give voice when I can. But it's one of those businesses that I just try and help when I can. I whenever he calls, I'm like, okay, whatever you need, I try and do. But man, you are a firecracker beyond. But I learned so much about what you do and how you take care of your employees, that I think it's something that a lot of businesses also need to replicate.
Thank you. We're honestly, we're learning every day. We're learning as we're going. We're seeking to put in best practices where we can. Really, we're helping each other, right?
Right.
We see value both from a really strategic perspective of seeking out opportunities to hire, train, employ, and support veterans, because these are some of the most service-minded folks, amazing leaders, amazing potential. If you're someone that is dedicated to a life of service and putting others before yourself, you can be an excellent team player. The skills you learn in the military, you can directly apply those towards purpose-driven, mission-driven work. And so we see it as a really strategic opportunity to create alongside some really talented folks. And we recognize that every human being needs a little extra support from time to time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're in the front, sometimes we're in the back, leaning on each other and being intentional around creating spaces that really allow for folks to bring their best version. And on the days when we're having a tough day, that we have access and resources to get the support we need.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that every person could benefit from having a therapist, someone to talk through, to process.
You know what? You're 100% right. I woke up this morning to watching one of the network morning shows, and they talked about teletherapy this morning. And one of the network anchors talked about that and what your mental health, whether it's yoga, whether it's talking to a therapist. You and I talk about that all the time, about resources. And especially during this crazy pandemic, and I'll bring in this crazy election. I mean, who doesn't want to just, right. Like we're we've done a lot of isolating from one another. And if you turn on the news, you want to just, you're not finding your happy place if you're listening to the news, So it has been challenging. I do want to shift gears to that point, that in this time, you too have had to shift to this amazing place. I mean, you were very much a part of being at the Easter Market every weekend and going out to shows that aren't really happening. And a little bit of the Easter Market has come back, but you really shifted gears to even product development. And I can't say you were one of the first, but certainly one of the top first to come out with a mask design. So tell me about, the thought process that you went through. You pivoted really quickly.
Sure.
To develop a mask.
Yeah. So, within kind of like the week before the state shut down, we first had a couple cases. The work orders and our leadership team, we got together and asked the question, like, okay, how do we best address this situation? How do we best meet this moment where it's at? How can we best serve? How can we support? Like, what does this look like? And we all agreed to kind of start to explore and see how we could best, help each other, protect each other, serve our neighborhoods. Like, what does that look like? And in that exploration, we actually initially we partnered with folks over Detroit Denim and another shop, and we determined the opportunity to create face shields for Beaumont and some other local hospitals. And within a week, we had designed, gotten materials, and gotten a assembly line process in place at another location, because our current location where we were wasn't big enough to support the kind of assembly line we needed. And then with another, 4 or 5 days, we had launched and started production, where we actually were part of making 22,000 face shields, which are those protective plastic shields that surgeons and especially frontline staff were wearing. And while we were doing that, we also started designing and manufacturing a thing called a 3D knit mask. So using technology with what's called a 3D knitting machine, which is like 26 needles making something in all one piece, which is zero waste, sustainable. We knew that there was a need for that. We were doing some of that, the smaller run kind of traditional sewing as well, but we really wanted to bring that innovation in. We want to work that way towards footwear and some other products that really allow for some customization, things like that. So we shifted from both, okay, you know, we know where things are kind of, we can anticipate where things might be headed. And we didn't think sales would drop as much as they did. Like our leather goods sales just stopped, you know. We still had some interest on footwear, and actually we sold out of all of our footwear production runs in June. So we can only do about 15 pairs of shoes per month. We're very handmade. We're very small batch, small run. But other than that, it was kind of like within a matter of weeks, we lost almost 4 different large corporate contracts for making goods for different conferences and events coming up, and you know, employee giveaways and things like that just all got canceled. And so all of a sudden, you know, a third of our revenue is gone. And so we had to get really creative, and we did a lot to just kind of not have to lay anybody off. We were able to kind of take turns, look at it part-time and being really strategic, and only do a very short term. We only had to lay folks off for like a week until we could get back up and running again. But yeah, that just trying to be strategic as possible, and be able to still be of service to our community.
So I want to bring that up, that you can go to pingreedetroit.com, PINGREE Detroit.com. And I say that because the products that are there are available, and the mask, and you are at Easter Market when you're
Saturdays,
able to, on Saturdays?
Yep, at least for another few weeks. Yep.
Okay, so I mean, it's important, you know, for those going down and around. Eastern Market has really gotten it together as far as how they have been handling things safely. So definitely do what I did. Walk up, say hello. You will meet, you're often there, and the workers who are there are the workers, and, you know, introduce yourself. Everybody within Pingree Detroit has an amazing story. Tell them I sent you. But the reason I think, and it was a perfect shift to why I'm so glad we're talking. I said you're methodical. Why we talk when we talk. You were hard hit, and you worked really hard not to lay anyone off for so many reasons. And the most important is you all are a family, how you work together, you know, how your ownership works. But you also had worked so mindfully about working with big corporations to craft gifts that would be given out at conferences, that you were able to give things that were personalized to certain companies. And we won't name the company names because I know that's always exclusive. But you're right, that all went away because all of a sudden the 300-person conference wasn't going on. And, you know, the company itself was nervous. And of course, those companies, they were worried about themselves. It wasn't that they weren't worried about you, but everybody sort of went into the mindset of, well, we can't do these things now. But what the fallout of that is a company like yours has to operate, and you don't have the funds. And you are someone who is always looking for amazing ways to fund yourself through grants. And that brings us to this incredible week.
Yes.
And it's not only this week, but we're going to talk specifically about this week. And that is that it is Rocket Mortgage Detroit Demo Day week. And
today until Sunday. Yes.
Today until Sunday, I have been posting all over my social media. I always say that I post so much, I've probably lost people along the way. But this is something that I'm so thrilled with. And I told you this, the competition in your field is amazing. I'm friendly with many of them, as you are. And the reason I say that is because they're all worthy, because they're part of Detroit. I'm biased. I'm I'm talking to you. We've stuck to you. We've put you on some media this week to talk about Rocket Mortgage, Detroit Demo Day, and that's because really you guys have an amazing story. But you are in the sustain category, for the People's Choice Award. That is not the People's Choice Award that most people are familiar with that clear little glass category statute. No. You get to win some very big dollars, which really will make a impact impact. So really tell us about what Detroit Demo Day, that is a mouthful, Detroit Demo Day is, and what people need to do.
Yeah, so folks can go to DetroitDemoDay.com, or they can go to Pingree Detroit. Again, Sari said it, Pingree Detroit, both our website, our Instagram, or our Facebook, and all those have links to go on. It's a literally under 30 seconds. You can vote. And by voting for us, you give us a chance to win $25,000. We have a 1 in 6 chance to win this. And it's based specifically on who gets the most votes of the 6 businesses competing. And what this will allow us to do is, first of all, we're really excited. It's going to enable us directly to kick off an apprenticeship program we've been wanting to do for years, specifically training in advanced manufacturing in 3D knitting. So we're working on acquiring our own 3D knitting machine. So imagine in the future, you can walk into a Pingree shop, we 3D scan your foot, you pick out the colors, we make you a custom pair of shoes while you wait. That technology is already happening all over the world. Automotives, the top end Nike Flyknits are made this way. And we want to offer that level of really customization, really zero waste, well made, right in front of you. And that there's a ton of training needed to manage these machines, to learn the back end coding. It's very complex, but it's the future of footwear, and it's the future of how we want to make shoes in addition to some of the handmade pieces. And so to kick off that apprenticeship program, I guess, no pun intended, we this grant's going to directly give those funds to bring on a cohort of 4 to 5 folks, coupled with also getting us the support we need to source about 6 months worth of performance fibers to run these machines. And then we're going to bring 2 part-time folks to full-time. So it's literally, it would be a game changer for us. We're a very nimble organization. We've done a lot with little our whole existence. And we're really, just thrilled by the possibility of securing this grant to really get us moving that way. So again, DetroitDemoDay.com. You can vote for Pingree Detroit. You scroll down, we're towards the middle of the page, and it would make such a difference for us. And you can vote from any device one time. So if you have an iPad, a phone, a smartwatch.
I think I was doing that all day yesterday. I was walking around my house going, oh wait, there's my laptop, there's my cell phone. And I was posting that on, like, keep grabbing your devices. But, one of the things I do love about you, Jarret, is you're not just one to ask for like a grant. And I know, believe me, when you ask for a grant, you have to really ask and lay out why you want the money. But you have thought long and hard about how you would utilize this money. And the fact, and I want people to really realize this, that you want to utilize this money to bring on more people, which is creating jobs, and also to use this grant to create jobs and create a product. And I can't think, and again, it just melts my soul, because what it's saying is, and I mean this, is here in Detroit, that's really all we want. We want to create jobs in the city and product in the city. And, that's why I'm nagging everyone on my Facebook page to go to DetroitDemoDay.com and scroll down, hit Pingree Detroit, then go over to your cell phone, do the same damn thing, and move on. Because, and you know what, guys, I have a lot of friends across the country. Check out the products and do the same thing, because this, I mean, I sound like I'm on a bandwagon here, but I really mean it. This is the ultimate in manufacturing. Right now you are 9 people, and you're 9 people because you hold yourself to a very high standard of who can work for you and their talents. You are using sewing machines, you are stitching, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, but you know, there's only X amount of people buying product right now. But you're looking at a grant right now that is going to bring on apprentices to create something, and I love that. I mean, and
Thank you.
and grow your business. And you know, every time I talk to you, it is about growth. You are constantly dreaming of growth. You're talking about moving into a new facility or creating a new product. And I love that entrepreneurship about
Thank
you,
you.
but it's exciting. I get such energy
Thank you. I'm glad.
when I'm with you guys.
When we think about growth, we think about it a little maybe differently than traditional. So there's both the economic bottom line growth of the company. There's the growth of impact from a community perspective, like how engaged are we with the neighborhoods? How many folks are we training, employing from the neighborhood? So like right now, every member of our team, except for one, either lives in Detroit, born and raised in Detroit, or is a veteran, right? And so we're really committed to keeping it rooted local. And we also see growth from a perspective of well-being. Like, how do we measure happiness as a company? How do we measure someone's progression from the time we brought them onto our team, from the time they become a worker owner and beyond? How can we really serve, support, and create? And so we also see fun ways of, like, you know, growing folks who are engaging with us on our social platforms. So we've done a lot of bootstrapped marketing. We haven't really done very much paid marketing, but we're also this week doing a fun thing where for folks that are tuning in and want to maybe win like a custom one-on-one pair of sneakers like this, they can go on our Facebook and Instagram, they can follow us, and then if they tag and share just 3 people, they're entered for a chance to win a one-of-one pair of shoes where you could literally, you'll come to our factory.
Hold them up again.
Oh yeah, sure. So this is like it's a 2-tone, a custom leather accents. So folks could literally, they're going to work with our creative director and chief engineer to really pick out like their own personal color of leather, accent stitching, the color of the sole, the color of the laces. And so they're going to have a one-of-one pair of shoes.
Love
that we've only done that a couple times. We did it for an NBA player and and the contest winner from last year. So we really we encourage folks to engage with us there. And like you said, like, we're here to create work, meaningful work, not just a job that's just a minimum wage, but actually skilled trades that allow you to contribute, to expand, to then teach others. You know, before Pingree, we hadn't done shoes in Detroit in this way for literally since the 50s. So we're really, really grateful to participate, to make things here in Detroit, make them here in America, and do them well, and do them with intentionality.
Well, I'm so, you know, anytime I can talk to you, you know, I feel so blessed.
Thank you.
You came into my life and have brought me such joy to meet you. There are people, I say, who have come into my life and I'm a better person, and you and your team have brought that. I want to encourage everyone to go and educate yourself about who Pingree Detroit is, because there's a great history on the page, so you know more. There's great products. And so you should own something, I say. The holidays are coming. And also to go ahead and give out a couple websites for me so people hear it, where to help.
Yeah, so it's pingreedetroit.com. Again, that's PINGREE Detroit.com. Same thing for our Instagram and Facebook. And then if you wanted to, there are links on all 3 of those platforms that will take you right to voting. And if you wanted to go direct, it's DetroitDemoDay.com. So
all your devices. all day long.
Thank
And
you.
the voting goes until
this Sunday. So
yeah.
Wednesday to Sunday. So yeah.
So vote, vote, vote.
Yes. Thank
Jarret,
you.
I will have you back before the holidays and we'll talk holiday shopping and what's going to be
Deal.
available. I know it will be a little bit different this year. You
We
know,
are
it's
working on some new products.
okay, new products,
Indeed.
but I
Indeed.
know it will look different. I know one of my most favorite things, you and I talked that day, is, you know, having a purse around your waist, just to give you all, it's like my favorite. But also men, I can't stand, like my husband who has like this, he has a huge wallet in his back pocket. And so I have since bought him a small little sleek wallet. So when we used to go out, he would stick a, you know, a little bit of money, cash and credit card, but he loves that. You know, I told you he wasn't going to like it. He's going to be mad at me. Yeah. In the meantime, when it shows up at your house, they end up loving it. So, you know, I just can say that, you know, one of the things you do is you buy it, you slip it over to them, and somehow they magically use it. So, and it's this most gorgeous leather, and it's all recycled up, you know, and it's, you know, it was going to end up in a landfill. And here it is in your, you know, being repurposed. So,
and each piece has a maker tag on, so you have the face and a quote from the person who made that piece of Pingree. So it's that connection, that rooted in Detroit. And yeah, we're grateful to share time with the audience. And Sarah, thank you again for having us on today. Thank you, everybody. It was so good to be with you.
Well, we will talk soon. You know that we talk a lot. So,
all
right. Have an amazing day. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for voting.
Yep. Bye-bye.